Hey, everybody, let's start the party. I think we need to. Everybody's here, right? Anyway, I'm going to uh, tell you how it's going to start. And I want, first off, please let me know if you can hear me and see me, okay? Very important that you can hear and see me. So, gotta make sure this is not making noise. Oh, it is. Muted. Perfect. Okay. So can you hear and see me? Are you able to hear me? Thank you very much. Appreciate it so much. We're going to do it this way. I know you got a lot of questions. I know a lot of you are new, and we're going to take care of every one of you here. But first off, I have a plan so that I know that I can answer a lot of your questions by just doing the tour and sharing how everything works and where everything is. And after I do that, I'm going to check all of the chat. So make sure if you do have a question that you do put it in the chat because I'll take the time before we're done to go through everybody's questions and make sure everybody's happy. Now, of course, if there's a problem that is a support problem, then that's where it has to go. But if it's anything about how to use the product, where everything is, and how to get started, I'm your gal for that. Okay? So first off, I'm going to share my screen, and you should see that infinity window thing. Can everybody see that? Can you see the window? I have not yet moved to an actual share, but I'm gonna pop right on over. I've got backup already up, ready to go. And if you only own GotBackup, this is how it's going to look in the back office. Make sure and watch this video. It's a good video and it does give you a really good idea of how to use it and why you want to, and even how to approach people a little bit. But when you get started, very first thing you got to do is come on over here to where this little button is. It says Digital Tools, and click that, then click Got Backup, and then use the tool. That opens up where you can start to get started with it. And in that folder, once you get in there, you'll see that it looks like this. This is your back office. This is actually your cloud, and this is how you get to your cloud. But for now, I want to make sure you know how to get the app on your Windows or Mac machine. We have two places where you need to go. Make sure and download the one that is appropriate to your installation. If you are a PC user like I am, then you're going to download Windows. And if you have a Mac, make sure and download the Mac one because they're not going to cross, okay? Some of them have that ability, but these do not. So once you've downloaded, and I'm going to pretend that I don't have an installation so I can show it to you. And so, of course, it downloads as a zip file. And one thing that I notice people have not always gotten, and I need to open up the download folder. And as you can see, when I do, where is it? It's supposed to be there. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. All right, it should be right here. See, here is that download I just did. And so we're going to make sure to extract it. Or if you have a software that's already in your computer, make sure to extract it to a GotBackup Win folder or Mac folder, depending on which one it is. I'm going to go ahead and extract it so that you can see what it's going to look like. All right. So here is our folder now with the extracted file. Now, sometimes you can actually come up here. If I look at that folder, yes, I can double click that, but it doesn't work unless you extract it, okay? So we're going to come back here, and if you open up this folder, you'll see that all it has in it is just one file, which is actually your installation file, okay? And of course, you go ahead and open this. Go ahead and get it started. If you double click it, it opens. I'm not going to install it because I already have it, but this is the beginning process, right? If you are not speaking English, you have other choices. Make sure that you choose the one that works for you. And that's how it goes for that part. Now I'm going to close this window so it's out of the way. And then the next thing that happens is that you look for the actual folder that looks like this. And when you do a first install, it will look exactly like this. And it'll come up for you, giving you the opportunity to do what's called a sync, okay? And the only thing you have to do to make a sync happen is to add a folder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so you can see how it works. You can choose anything that has files in it, and it doesn't matter what kind of files we're talking about. You can just add anything you want. So I'm just for the heck of it going to say I want the desktop because sometimes I put things on the desktop. And then I'm going to go ahead and say next. And I'm going to leave it to go into my C folder, which I already have in there, or you can create a new one. And then I'm going to tell it to start. All right? So now it's going to add that to it. And then all we have to do is add. Now we have a new folder, and it's going to begin the process of syncing what is on my desktop. And that is actually not where my files are for the most part, but it's going to sync what's on there. And as you can see, now that you're looking at my desktop, I've got a lot of stuff on there, and it can actually help me out. And it's adding folders from another sync in there, which I don't want it to do, so I'm going to probably turn it off and not let it do that. But I'm going to leave that alone. That's not important to me at the moment. What we're going to do is go back to the program. Now there's two ways to go. In the case of a situation where you might have files that you just want on the cloud, but not on your hard drive, you have a different solution. And let me show you what that one is. If you click this button called Auto Login, it brings you over to your actual place where you can see your files if you have any, and where you can add files to it. And you can actually virtually add absolutely any kind of file. It just doesn't even matter. Okay? In the case, sometimes I have been told that some people want to just have it on in their cloud because they have very little space on their hard drive, and that happens at times. So now you can see I have one that I created earlier called downloads, okay? So I want a new file that's going to have my documents in it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new document. A folder, and I'm going to name it document or documents, whatever. I'm just using this as an example. But when you click on this, you're going to notice it's empty because this is not a sync file. This is a file that will allow you to manually upload and only have things on the cloud if you want to have them there. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're going to be available to you when you want them. So I'm going to actually come in here and go into my document folder and just select a few of these and say yes to that. And open. And you can see that it is beginning the process. And why is it not doing that? Let's just select some other things in here. Say like, yeah, here's my journal files. I'll put my journal files in there. Now you can see it loading those in to this document folder. And it's really not hard to do this. I have actually done most of mine this way because it makes I have more control, and it makes it more easier for me to keep track of what's going on. So I'm going to come back here to our GotBackup dashboard. I want to make sure you know where everything is, not just that part. So of course, the first thing we did is we used this tool, and that opened up our dashboard. But you might notice when I click, there's other things now under here. And let's go into the folder called Reseller Tools. And that's where your promo links are. And you might notice that there, right now, is 3 or 4 different folders. They're recommending that you use this one. And this is the link that this goes to. And then if you want to get a hold of the link to this webinar, because we're doing this every single week, and there's at least 3 different webinars that you can invite people to. So if you click this, it actually offers you your personal webinar link. You notice that it now has, although this is a dummy link, it has the actual username. So when you look at this question mark and ID, your username should be on the back end of this, and that's how you invite anybody to our webinars that we are doing. And I understand that Joel's getting ready to have more. It won't be just him all the time. He'll be inviting other people, and possibly even me doing it twice a week. That's all you have to do to get credit. So if Joel or anybody shares a link, like our tour link, without the username on the end of it, for instance, if I just copied this part, then it's the generic company link, which all of us can share if they're already cookied to you. But you're going to want them to be cookied to you, and that's what this part is right here, okay? You can even create a tracking link to keep track of who's going and who isn't if you want to. Now let's click the promo link again, and that opens us back into the links. And you'll notice that you have this page, and like I said, this is the actual join page. And Joel says this one's not ready yet, so don't use that one. But there's also other tabs up here. Everybody always asks, where is the ad copy? Well, here it is, right here. The ad copy is the 3rd button over, and there is actually made for you emails, and these can also be used as posts if you want to. Then we also have banners. Banners are used good for websites, and if you want to use something in Facebook or any place like that, that's where you're going to find these. We have both images and videos. The videos are pretty fun, but I wouldn't recommend you actually do that constantly, but do it sparingly and use curiosity whenever possible. So let me explain what I mean by that. For instance, if you have somebody that you've had a little bit of a conversation with, and you wanted that person to actually come to the next webinar, you might use just this first part here. Of course, you've got to change it so that it actually makes sense, because that's not the right time or the right date, is it? But if you use just, say, this first part, you could use that as a conversation for somebody that you've had a talk with. But I do actually recommend you do as much as you can with your own personality. I saw somebody really struggling in one of our chats today, and she was really frustrated because she was trying to talk people into doing this. And I have found that really you don't have to talk anybody into anything. Think about how to ask questions instead. What brought you to this, and how can you get other people to be interested by simply saying, asking them a question? Okay, what kind of question would you ask in the case of this product? You could say something like, do you have a way to back up all of your files on your computer? Have you lost things that are important to you, like pictures of your family? Or have you had problems with Facebook where people will take your pictures and use them in ways that you don't want them to? Would you like to know about a solution that I have to keep them private so that nobody can touch them except for the people that you share them with? That doesn't matter. Just think about ways that you can be friendly and ask questions. Don't think about trying to be salesy. Now I want to show you the next tab, and that is how you can actually communicate with your leads and anybody new that signs up as a free enrolled. Right now it doesn't show leads in here, only the pre-enrolled, and we don't have anybody in here, and that's on purpose because YouTube actually shut down one of my videos because I accidentally showed a few emails that I thought didn't know were real. But it's important actually to talk to your personal enrolled and your leads, regardless of whether they know you or not. When you do this, you can actually find out more about the people that are on your emails. Of course, we don't have anybody there to look at, but you might notice that there's a folder called Messages. Message. Yes, you can create follow-ups, and if you understand how to do that, that's fine. But the really easiest thing to do is to send what's called a broadcast. And a broadcast is a place where you can send a personal message to just the people that you want to in a particular list. For instance, we only have this list right here, right? So if I was going to send a broadcast, first off, you move them over to the other side, which means that's the list that you're choosing. And then remember, we copied some information from, I didn't actually, but you could actually do that. If I actually opened up, I have to go backwards, but let me go backwards for a minute. Got to go in here to the reseller tools and the ad copy. And I copied this right here. Now it's on the clipboard. See, this is showing that it's copied. So let's come back here to the lead capture system and the messages and send a broadcast. And we're going to send it to our pre-enrolled, of course. Now you have a choice. You can just do a blank one that has nothing on it, or you can use a template. And I recommend you don't use the one with the money on it, but use one that is simple. And say, like, I wanted to use that one just for the fun of it. Of course, we've got in here information that's not correct, right? But look, let me show you the magic of using one of these. Now I have an email almost completely ready to go. Look at that. It already, and we take out friend because they had friend, but this one already has a name here, subscriber first name, which means it's going to address itself to that person. Now, there's a few things you might want to fix so that it looks like you and not like a generic template here. This one's a logo. You can either take it out or add something new here. For instance, if you have an image already, like I do, you could go out and get that. And that's what I've done in mine. All right, where is it? Yeah, it's one of these. Okay, and you don't want it to be too large, so you make sure that this is smaller. Change that to 600 and then tab over, and that will automatically change on this side. So now this is my actual logo I use in the top of my email. You can choose to have a title or take this out. I'm going to take it out. Keep this simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. Make sure that you fix all of this. It's already got your link in it, but you need to make sure that you actually sign it with your personal name. You don't want it to say GotBackup. And how hard is that? I don't think that's hard, is it? Now you might notice also on the bottom of this is some pictures. These are actually intended for you to use as your Facebook here instead of just a picture. So I'm going to actually jump over here to my Facebook, and I'm going to jump to my personal profile real quick. And you notice I have a link up here, right? The link is always going to show up if you click your personal profile. All right. So now I'm going to get back over there, and this is already selected, the Facebook icon. So if you come up here and click the chain right here, and then you just do a paste, and there it is. It's in there. And then say my Facebook or Linda's Facebook or whatever you want. I recommend you put it in a new window and say, okay, now when they get this email, this has a link instead of just a picture. You don't need a lot of these. I don't use all of these. I do use the YouTube and the Facebook. Now this is finished. Now you can also put a link here if you want to. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to take that out. And note, because you already have this link in here several times, okay? So if this person is interested in knowing about how the business works, you can actually make this happen by simply clicking the add button. Oh, I didn't do a subject line. So here is your tour. So you can see even a person that knows their stuff can even make a mistake, and it's okay. It's really okay. So now I'm going to add that. Notice what happened here. Now, here's that email ready to actually go to the leads. But there's nobody in that list, so I'm not going to actually send it. But to make sure that it actually goes out to your leads, make sure and click this plus button right here. That puts it in the queue, or you can even have it timed to go out at a particular time, and it's set to do that. So for our benefit, there you have it. That's how you send emails to all of your team members or new people that have become part of your leads. Now you have a few more buttons here. Make sure you know where everything is. My business is where you're going to find all the personal information. If you want to know about your personal downline that just started, or you want to place them in the right place, you would look under this button right here. Of course, there's not going to be anything there to look at because this is not a real account. So it's going to show everything. Now, as you get it going, it's going to show about 4 levels on this first page, which mine does. Then to see all of the tree, especially if you want to place somebody into your own personal power line, you'll click this button right here. And then, of course, if you want to see them personally and all of their information so you can let them know that you're there and want to talk to them. If they're a reseller, they're going to show up under the reseller tab. If they're a customer and they just have not decided to be a reseller, they'll show up as a customer. Most of our GotBackup people don't show up as customers. Cart abandoned means that they changed their mind or got scared, but you're going to still see their information, and that might mean that you need to just give them a little bit of encouragement. And anybody that is still on the tour is going to show up in the free, okay? So you can actually set it, look at it by all of these other things here, or you can do a custom search. There's live webinars, and of course, this talks about our webinars we're doing. Of course, I'm in the top row, and then we've got Joel and Mike that are set up to go here, and I know there's going to be others besides that. So that's the complete tour. I'm going to come on back to our window and make sure and check out all of your comments now. So I know Bruce is in here. He's probably answered all your questions, and that's fine. Let's see where we're at. If you haven't asked a question and you need it answered, make sure and let me know. Okay, Bernice asks, if I sign up and pay the $40 affiliate fee and the $9.97 monthly membership, do I also need to pay the automated daily backups for content income protection? Bernice, that's completely optional, but I recommend that you do. If you want to wait, though, you don't have to do it all in one chunk if that is hard for you to do. So that's what I would recommend, is that you go ahead and do it, because it's just going to be an extra guarantee for you, and it's only once a year, okay? It's not monthly, and the $40 is only a one-time affiliate fee, a startup fee, if you will. Okay, let's see, who else has got a question? If you don't have a question, make sure and let me know. If you need to have anything answered, that's what this is all about tonight. No question is a stupid question, only the one that you didn't ask. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but that is how we know, right? Okay. So it's $40 plus $9.97, then $9.97 a month. Okay, so he's not asking a question, he's answering a question. Okay, that's great. And know that you don't have to pay the $40 after that first time, not yearly, just once, okay? And then Frank Theron. Okay, that's actually Joel's father, I think. Okay. When I signed up, I didn't use my friend's tour link. I went to their main link and just signed up. Did I miss out by not completing the tour? No, Tammy, you didn't miss anything. But what happens is it just gives you a chance to find out about the back office. You're going to get the same ability by being a new member as well. So if you're a paid member, you're going to see your whole back office. You're still going to get the emails from the company. So I don't think you miss anything. That's just kind of a way that you get to find out about everything so that you can make a decision whether you like it or don't like it, okay? And I found out just actually by accident we're using StreamYard, and that helps us kind of manage this better than doing this straight into YouTube. And this isn't a question, but I think it's a great comment. Bruce is one of our leaders and he knows his stuff. He's doing really well. Keep it simple. Ask people if they know anybody who uses a computer or phone. Did you know about 20,000 hard drives fail every day? It sucks when that happens and many businesses go under. And I've had that happen to me. I had a hard drive full of all of my stuff. And because I had hurried to put it up into GotBackup, I didn't lose my stuff. But if I didn't know about GotBackup, I would have been in trouble because there's no solving it once that happens. Okay. Oh, I see. The other part of what Bruce was really explaining is a business that loses its customer database, tax documents, and inventory is in deep doo doo. Yeah, I agree. But even yourself, you don't want to lose those kind of things. What was magic? I don't know where that comment came from. But anyway, okay. Let's see. Any more questions? Okay, here's a good one. Deanne says, don't the people who are in my leads get emails by the company? Yes, they do. And of course, the company sends them emails automatically. They find out more about what the company does and what our product is all about. But you know what? You want them to know you because you want them to stay. And if there's ever any upgrades, you want them to pay you, right? So if they get acquainted with who you are, and the really cool thing is you don't actually have to use those emails, just send them a friendly email once or twice a week. I recommend you do it at least twice a week and say something like, "Hi, I'm Deanna. I'm just brand new and GotBackup, and I'm having a great time and lots of fun. And all of my things that I have on my computer are backed up automatically. I don't hardly have to even think about it now. And when I want something from it, I can get into the cloud real easy and download it for use." Now, can you say something like that? That's not salesy. That's just friendly. Or something like, "Hi, I'm Deanna. I'd like to let you know that I'm your sponsor. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out. Here's my information so you can get in touch with me easily." So you don't have to be salesy. Yes, the company does the emails, but you do want to have a contact with the people that you are bringing in, whether they're free or whether they are just leads at this point. When the mobile app is ready, Jim, we are kind of on the countdown. Let me go ahead and put you there so everybody hears it. We know that the iPhone app is coming first. Joel says within 2 weeks. After that, we will have the Android. They will give us a period of time to test the iPhone and then the Android, just as they have let us have a chance to test our software on the new servers. Everything is going well with that as well. So we will soon have the app. The app is actually ready right now. It's just that they're waiting until they have the servers exactly where they want them and enough space on there and that there's no glitches so that everybody will be in a good place because it's going to go crazy. All right. Where is the binary? Okay, Sue. I will go back into my share screen and show you how that works. All right. So we need to get back here to our GotBackup. Your binary will show up actually on the download page. Now it's probably not going to actually show up on this dummy page, but it's actually going to be under here, but it won't show up until you actually have somebody in there. And in this dummy account, I can't show you my real one because if I do, then I expose people's personal information, which actually makes YouTube go nuts and take down my video. So it will be right here under here. And every week when someone new joins you, you will actually see a folder that says your power line as well, but it will only be there until Wednesday, and then you can go ahead and add them into your legs. The binary is actually going to be a result of what is happening in both of your legs. That's really what you're going to see in here. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, ask another one so that I can make sure and answer it for you. Okay? And I'll remove that so it doesn't get crazy. Okay, when I click get backup app and put login info, it says, but I log in on the browser and it works there. Is that a support issue? I'm not sure I understand your question, but let me share my screen and show you. Are you talking about when you're trying to add something to your sync? Because it should let you, it should be actually, I don't want that. What did I do? Oh, close that. It should actually be there. We'll add you here. It should actually be there automatically. I do not have to log in when I turn on the app. It automatically knows my login because I have it open in my cloud. But make sure it's the same login that you use to log in when you get into the back office. Don't make a different login or it'll be confused, okay? So I think that's what you're talking about. If that isn't correct and you need more clarification, make sure and put another question in so that I can. How you get paid? Okay. Yes, Richard, we can talk about that. Richard wants to know how we get paid. And so I'm going to add the screen again. And we're going to go back to here. So make sure if you click this commission folder right here and it says My Commissions, in here it's going to show what's happening every day and every month, and you can do a search. As you can see, there's more than one search. If you know that somebody paid but you don't know when and it isn't showing for today, you can click monthly or yearly. You get paid every Friday after a month. So if you had someone say that paid for the yearly and you have $44 or $50 coming to you, it's going to show up after it's been a month, and it's actually going to show up in a folder. Let's see if it's in here, called My Pay History. right here. Okay. And so, of course, this again is not a real account because I can't show personal information, but this is where it'll show what's happening with your commissions when you get paid. Make sure that if it says that you need to fill out any kind of form, for the US it's the W-9, and I don't know what it is for people that are outside of the United States. But if it does say you need to do this, make sure that you do. And there is one other thing you need to do, and that is go into your account right here. And I'm going to slide down fast so it can't see the email. But make sure that you actually click here and activate your prepaid MasterCard and make sure you have an account with Payoneer. If you're outside of an area where Payoneer functions, you may see a different company name here. If you can't use either of those, you need to contact support because they do have other options for exceptions to the rule. But the majority of the people in our team, if they have no objections to Payoneer, must use it because it's actually the best solution. And what happens once you have money starting to come in, it will actually show up in your bank account if you have it set up to do that, which is really cool. So I will go ahead and come back. I hope that handled that question for you, Richard. If not, make sure and okay, where do we add additional users? Yes. Thank you, Bruce. That is one thing I need to make sure you know how. So let's go in there, back to the digital tools and back to GotBackup. And you might notice now, when we look in here, there's a big blue button right here in the middle. Whenever you want to add someone, you just click this. I'm going to pretend that I'm going to add my mother. And this is just for fun, okay? Mother at gmail.com. Now, this isn't a real user, but I just want to make sure you know this is all you have to do. It's really pretty easy and simple. Make sure and give them a different login and password than the one that goes to your personal account, because let's make sure we understand you do not have access to another user's account. That would not be cool. They can grant you access to it, but give them the privacy that they can have their own personal account where they can have their own stuff and they will not see your stuff and you will not see their stuff. And that's how you do that. Okay? So we're coming back in to the window, making sure we get everybody's questions. Okay. Sue is having trouble understanding the power line. Now let's just think about this in a little bit easier way. They call it the power line, but it's really just your own personal legs, okay? You don't really have much to do with the whole company power line. You can see it, but you don't have any control over it. But you do have control over whatever happens to your personal power line. In other words, your line, which are two legs coming down from you, okay? Once you start building a little bit of a team, you can use that power line to actually encourage somebody to get started. So say you have somebody that wants to join, but they're kind of dragging their feet, and you have two or three people that are in your personal power line. Remember I showed you it's under the My Download tab, okay? There's no place else you have to go, just to My Downline tab, and it'll show what you have there, okay? So let's say you have Brenda that can't decide whether she's going to join or not. Not sure why, it's not that hard. But some people are a little bit skittish. And you can say, well, guess what? On Wednesday, I have two people that are ready to go into my power line. And if you want to join now, I will put them under you. But they'll go under somebody else if you're not yet ready to pay and become a paid member of the power line I have. You don't have to make this complicated, okay? It's really simple. Think about it as it's simple. I'm a paid member. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm a paid member and also paid extra so I can be lazy. Yes, Tammy, that's cool. We can do that, can't we? So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. That's not available all the time, but yeah, I lost. Oh, this is okay. I can't see my power line. How do I see it if I actually got the power line attached to my account? You don't have a power line unless you've referred personal people into your team. You will have some that might be added by people that are active above you in your upline, but that just depends on whether they are active. Okay? Let's use this one. I lost my daughter's wedding video to a trashed hard drive. Oh, that's sad. Very, very sad. And you know what it feels like, so you don't want that to happen again. Oh, I never received an email from the company. Check your back area where it says profile. You can get to it by going to the top and right hand side of your screen and click on your name until and edit your profile, and make sure that you have email the area where it says notifications clicked for yes, you want to receive emails, because that's why they would not show up, because you've actually turned them off. I got the Now Lifestyle 199 to 2. How does it work? It will be new tools that are in that same folder that says digital tools, okay? And I would suggest, because we're not really going to have enough time to go over all those other tools, and that would actually be confusing to everyone else, that you just watch videos and choose to look at one at a time. And you probably bought the year of that from the way it sounds, because it's called all access, okay? And that's all you have to do is just choose one of them to learn and watch the videos on all of the pages. And they're really easy, and it really helps you if you do it that way. Got a lot of great questions. Okay, I think I answered yours, Tammy. So the only thing a user needs to know is how to make a file and put it in a folder. Would that be correct? That is one of the ways, yes. Remember how I showed you that you can do it right in the cloud? Yes, that's how I do most of mine. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it the way I started out showing you, to make a sync file. But whenever I do a sync file, it keeps on adding more folders and stuff, and I don't like that it does that, and I have to clean out what it creates, because it does that. So I like to have more organization, and I like to keep it real clean and neat. So I like to do most of it on the cloud, but you can choose. You don't have to do it that way. That just is the way I chose to do it. Boy, lots of awesome questions. Now, Ed says, I use my phone now through a browser. Yes, you can get in there right now if you just go to one of your browsers that are in your phone. I recommend you actually download Chrome rather than using Safari, it works better. And then you can actually go there and go to your GotBackup.com, and you can get into your own cloud from your phone, like Ed says. And Ed has been a great help. He likes to help people out. It's okay, Sue. You will have somebody there. Okay. I have not been able to do anything yet. Kelly, we might need to get together personally, and I will make sure that you're set up correctly because you're my team member. I'll make sure that we get together and go through that. So let's maybe do that tomorrow. Would that work? And then we'll do that. And if it's a tech issue, I will know once we get started with that. Sometimes when I auto load, it kicks me out. I type it in. Okay, you mean when you do one of those syncs? Or when you, yeah, a sync is an auto load. Um, okay, I don't know. That could be a tech issue. If it continues to do that, please put a ticket in and ask them to help you with that because it's not supposed to do that. Okay, Brown asks, if you are sending emails with your Gmail, are the subscribers getting your emails? If you're doing a lot of emailing through Gmail, they can get blocked. So we do have an email system right inside, and I showed you how that works. So if you don't know where it is, it's right under the tab that says messages, okay? So go look for that, and it's better to send your emails to your subscribers right inside our system. We have an automatic email system that you can use without paying any extra, which is really awesome because believe me, in any other system I've ever seen, they make you hook you up to another email system like a Weber and pay extra for that, and we don't do that. So take advantage of the fact that you have that system right inside of our program. Okay. I haven't been able to do anything yet. Why? I don't know the answer to that because I don't have a specific. Is it because you haven't downloaded it? Or is it because you haven't advertised? See, you don't really have the question doesn't give me any idea of what exactly you need me to ask. Okay. How do you move people from the holding tank? Okay, that's a good question, Bob. When you get to the point where you have leads, I mean, people that have actually paid and they're in your holding tank, they will stay in there, actually in your power line, until Wednesday night at midnight. And they're supposed to stay there for a little bit in the morning the next day. I've noticed that sometimes they move before I have a chance to put them where I want to. So if for some reason they get moved before you want them to, and you want to put them in a different place, you can ask support to help you out to get them back into the tank. But if they're in your tank and you're past Wednesday at midnight, you simply go and click an open space and their username will show up, and then you can just click that username and that puts them into the spot where you want them. All right, this is awesome. Ah, come on. I looked into the card and it looked like they charge $10 a month to use and have it. Are you talking about the car? Oh, you're talking about the Payoneer? No. They may charge you one time, but they don't charge you per month. They will charge you a transfer fee. It has generally been for me $2.50, and they only charge and that doesn't matter how much you get. It's not a percentage, it's a flat fee, but they probably will charge you one time for the card, and after that they will transfer it for a fee like $2.50 is what I've been charged. But any kind of a merchant account will charge you something, and I think that's actually good. A lot of them charge a percentage, and if you start making a lot of money, that could be a lot of money out of your pocket. Okay, Bruce is asking, answering questions. Okay. And I think I answered your question, Liberty, already. Yeah, I can't get into Now Lifestyle tonight because if I did, I would confuse all these brand new people in here. The power line people, let's see, let's put you on here. What about the paid members in the power line? The paid members in the power line will show up on your own personal power line under the downline tab, and they will be ready for you to move into your line on Wednesday at midnight. Okay? What information are you asking about? I don't know what information you're asking about. When you're talking to me about something I showed, maybe as long early, could have even been 10 or 15 minutes ago, I don't actually know what question you're asking. Please be a little more specific so I can answer it. Ah, okay. Linda asks, are there written directions on how to set up your downloads? There is a PDF on the main page. In fact, there's two, and I think they give you pretty good directions on a lot of this. And if they don't, make sure and be a little specific on what exactly you're asking about. You mean how to set up auto loads? Downloads would be when you're taking things out and back to your computer, but I think you mean when you want things to actually go into your backup. And those are on the page that is called your, let me just go ahead and share. I was already there. Okay, let me go ahead and share back. Now, when I'm on this folder right here, okay, you might notice that there's actually a tab right underneath the download folder. And let's say that I wanted this one. This one actually has both a PDF and videos in here. And here are three videos: how to install GotBackup, how to connect to your PC in the cloud, how to sync your folder files, and folders. I really recommend everybody actually go ahead and look at that so that you are completely sure about what's going on. And there is also one for the Mac users as well: how to install, how to sync your Mac. So that's what I recommend all of you do if you're still confused on how to get started. Okay, we're moving along nicely here. And a lot of you are answering these questions. I love that. Yeah, you can recover. There are experts that know how to recover files if you've lost them. Actually, Russ, they're underneath the download, the action where the tabs are for you to download the app. If you look under there, I just showed them. Rich, okay, this is important. Richard, do we have to move people into our binary? Can we let the system automatically do it for us? Richard, it won't matter at the beginning, but as your legs start to really grow, there's going to be more and more holes. Say you have Joe, that's the third one down. He's going to have spaces on both sides of his, and you don't want him to go in odd places that don't help you build your line and help the team that you want to do. So yes, you actually do want to place them, and you probably want to keep it fairly even, not one too heavy and one too not heavy. At some point, if you've got anybody in your upline that does anything, some of those people will start building one of the legs for you, but you'll still want to build one of those legs and make sure that all of that information and those people are in the right places. Sue, okay, this is a good question. I haven't been moving my members after Wednesday night. Can I still move them? They won't be available to be moved once they've been placed if they're already placed. But if you want them to be in a different place, you can put in a ticket. I do this all the time. If it gets put in the wrong place and I don't want it there, I put in a ticket and say, George Snow got put in a place I don't want him to be. Can I have him put back in my tank so I can put him where I want him? And you can do that. But I would recommend not waiting too long if you want to do that, because your whole team is going to be affected if you change. If that person's way high, you can't really move them after you start putting people under them. Okay, Bruce is answering somebody's question. Yes, Russ says that they move after 36 hours, but it's been my experience they move the next day, so make sure and do it pretty close. Irene, I understand that Payoneer is not available in Canada, so you probably have another application. I think it's Wise. So you need to go into the back and see what is in yours. If it is something else, just apply and get a free account going with whatever it shows there, okay? That's all you have to do, because that's how you get paid. All right. And, oh, that's awesome. Okay. Does not work in Nevada. Okay. Deanna, you should be in Payoneer. Payoneer for the United States, okay? I think we're getting close. Everything's looking pretty good. In List Elevate, I am paid through Payoneer Direct. Do I still need the Payoneer card? Richard, what you would make sure and do is if you have a different account, which you really shouldn't have a different account, it should already be set up unless you have a different account. But what I would actually tell you to do is to keep them all under one umbrella so you keep it simple. Once you've signed up with Payoneer, you don't have to ever do it again. You can actually you can tell them that you have one and then go ahead and make sure they have the username for your Payoneer account. Okay? What is the best position for payouts for affiliates? Position? Okay, what is the best position for payouts for affiliates? Not sure how to place people if you are not used to placing people. What do you advise? Keep your legs even. If you know that one leg is not going and nobody's putting anything there, make sure there's people over there too, because you don't want to have one leg really long and nothing on the other side, or you don't get paid. Okay? You actually get the binary bonus based on what's happening in your legs. Okay? And then what the company's doing as well. Can we be okay? Can we be paid by check? Bernice, what I do know is the company will pay you whatever is necessary, but if there's no reason why you can't use what is offered in our back office, in our profile section, please use that because it helps the company out. What they found out is that when they start sending out too many checks, the bank doesn't like it, and it might actually delay how fast you get paid. Bottom outside of weak leg. Okay, I don't know what that means. What are some good traffic resources? Okay, let's talk about that. There are so many traffic resources, you'll never run out of them. The major thing is to make sure that it's one where they're not sending you bot traffic, because bot traffic isn't real people, is it? There are lots of people out there that are offering really good traffic, and social media is good too. If you do videos, I do videos. I get leads from videos every single day. So make sure that you are doing some content, not just, posting the link, but actually doing things that will bring people to you. In social media, it's kind of about being reciprocator. Oh, I don't have the right word, but you know what I mean, I hope. If you want them to come to you and look at what you have, you need to go to them and comment and like their stuff first. And the more you do that, the more people will come to you. Does that make sense? And that's free. You don't even have to pay for that. Ah, I'm getting behind. There are so many things. Yes, there's paid and there's free. If you're doing free, remember that it's going to take some patience and time before you see a lead from it. So talk to people like they're your friends. Don't think of them as somebody that's money constantly, but think about being nice to them because you want them to like you for that reason. Thank you, John, for talking about WISE. That's right. WISE is for Canada. I don't know why that's happening, Ed. I've heard about that happening to a few people, and that would be probably a problem that you need to ask support to help with. If you, especially if you're in Windows 11, I noticed that they're having trouble with that, but they will help you out, even if it means they have to get on a live with you and get you fixed up. So Ed, put in a support ticket and tell them about that, okay? And anybody that's having that trouble. I think it's a Windows 11 issue. And they are working on it, but in the meantime, they do have a workaround. All you have to do is ask them to help you out. So put in a support ticket. And it looks like I caught up. Yeah, yay! Wow, this was a marathon. You guys were great. I love all the questions, and I'm glad that you're excited. And this is going to be a place to not only make money, but to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're probably not going to do it. So think fun first, okay? Because if you're having fun, others will be want to be part of what you're doing. They'll want to. So that's what I recommend. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it very, very much. I really love it when some of you leaders show up because you answer a lot of the questions. I don't have to answer them. But I love our products. I love our company, and they do an awful lot of amazing things because I've been in companies where they don't do this good, really good, taking care of the stuff that matters. For instance, taking care of those little glitches when they come up, because I'll tell you what, if they don't take care of that, then it doesn't matter how pretty it is on the outside. Yes, so I hope you guys have a great evening. I really appreciate you coming. And bring your friends and your new people that are coming into your business because we help you out. All 3 nights are wonderful ways to actually invite And you have a link in your back office in your links section. So make sure and use that. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all coming. Yeah, ask everybody. What's good is we don't have to wait until, find people that are a particular niche. This is one time when niche does not apply. And that really helps us out. All of your friends have computers and phones. Every single person you know has computers and phones. So GotBackup works for all of that. So you guys have fun with this, okay? Have fun. And Kelly, make sure and let us get together tomorrow, okay? So I can get you started with that. You're welcome. I appreciate it. And I'm going to end this now. And you guys have a most awesome evening. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye for now.